Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about some decent value bets against the spread for January 2017 in college basketball. A lot of action on the board today. I'm just going to be talking about five particular matchups in this video. If you're interested in what those five matchups are, you can find those in the video description. Also, if you want our daily free play over at our main website, you can head over to stumpthespread.com by clicking this logo in the top right hand corner. And if you're not on desktop, you won't be able to do that, so I'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description as well. If you're looking for more of this pick content in the future, you can click that subscribe button, and if you click the thumbs up on this video, it's greatly appreciated and really helps us out. Alright guys, so just five games that we want to touch on in today's video, and we're going to start with Maryland versus Iowa. The young Maryland Terps have far surpassed expectations, and it's been fun seeing this reloaded roster develop throughout the regular season, now standing an impressive 16-2 overall and 4-1 in the Big Ten. Maryland has been playing off of their defense, as this group ranks third in the Big Ten in points allowed, as well as seventh in scoring average. The Terps have come through in their last two outings on the road in conference play, getting past Michigan and Illinois, and some pretty nice resume-building road wins there for the Terps. Maryland has been led by veteran guard Melo Trimbo, who's averaging 17.2 points per game. Then we get the home team, Iowa. Iowa knew they were going to take a step back this year, given the amount of veteran talent this squad lost during the offseason. But the Hawkeyes remain a threat in the Big Ten, standing 11-8 overall and 3-3 in conference. After coming off a great win at home against Purdue, Iowa was completely throttled in their last outing on the road against Northwestern. Iowa is 3-0 at home in Big Ten play, which is important to note, and showing more fight behind the support of their home crowd than they have been able to do on the road. Iowa has shown to be one of the better offensive threats in the Big Ten, but part of that has to do with the pace that Iowa plays at, as the Hawkeyes rank 34th in the nation in scoring average compared to 298th in total defense. Peter Yauk leads the squad, averaging 21.9 points per game, and he's one of the best players in the Big Ten. Iowa has been solid on their home court thus far in Big Ten play, and it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues for Iowa. Maryland is going back-to-back on the road, and the Terps could be a bit complacent with the recent success they've had. We do like Iowa to come through here on their home court as they go on to cover this spread. All right, moving on to the next game we want to talk about over in the American Conference. We have Connecticut versus Southern Methodist. UConn has been a bit more competitive as of late, but the Huskies still have their issues, standing 7-10 overall and 2-3 in conference. UConn has had major problems on the offensive side of the ball this season, ranking an embarrassing 321st in the nation in scoring average compared to a more respectable 49th in total defense. The Huskies have arguably been the biggest disappointment in college basketball this season, but at least the Huskies continue to show some fight, especially as of late. In the last outing, the Huskies came up short on the road, losing to Georgetown by a final of 69-72. UConn has been led by Jalen Adams, who's averaging 15.6 points per game. And then we get the home team, SMU. They have been living up to their preseason billing, standing 15-4 overall and 5-1 in conference, building off of their elite defense as the Mustangs rank 6th in the nation in points allowed. SMU is one of about 3 to 4 teams that have a shot to make the NCAA tournament out of the AAC, and this group needs to continue to take care of business to keep up their RPI. SMU came through in their last outing on the road, beating Tulane by a final of 80-64. All of SMU's home wins in conference play have been by double digits, and the Mustangs will look to continue that trend today. The Mustangs spread the ball around with 5 players averaging in double figures. SMU needs to take care of business today against the struggling Huskies, and the Mustangs should do just that behind their elite home crowd advantage. UConn is going back-to-back on the road against tough opposition, and we think the Huskies will come up short here today as SMU goes on to win and cover this spread here. We see the spread has shrunk a little bit, and that's going to be because UConn has been performing a little bit better as of late, but going back-to-back on the road and going against one of the better teams in the conference, and SMU has one of the better home court advantages in the conference. We do like SMU to come through here against this moderate spread here. All right, guys, moving over to the Pac-12, the next game I want to talk about is going to be Arizona versus Southern Cal. Arizona, they have been putting up some solid results this season, standing 16-2 overall and 5-0 in the Pac-12. Arizona had to replace a lot of veteran talent this past offseason, but the Wildcats reloaded, and this reformed group remains a serious threat in the Pac-12. The Wildcats lean more on their defense this year, as Arizona ranks 12th in the nation in points allowed compared to 147th in scoring average. Arizona took care of business in their last outing at home, getting past Arizona State by a final of 91-75. Arizona has played their last 3 games at home, but now the squad runs through the gauntlet with back-to-back roads coming against USC and UCLA on this road trip here. USC picked up a nice win on the road in their last outing, getting past Colorado by a final of 71-68, and the Trojans now stand 16-3 overall and 3-3 in conference. USC leans a bit more on their offense than the Wildcats, as the Trojans rank 71st in the nation in scoring average compared to 147th in total defense. USC has only fallen at home once so far this season, and that came in their last outing at home at Cal by just 1 point in a contest that really could have gone either way. The Trojans need to take care of business at home in the Pac-12, given how tough it can be to win on the road in conference. USC spreads the ball around with 5 players, averaging at least 9 points per game. Arizona hasn't gone against the toughest conference slate necessarily thus far, and we'll get a better idea of where the Wildcats really stand after this LA road trip. USC has been solid on their home court throughout the regular season, and we like the Trojans to build off of their home crowd as they keep things competitive in this one as they go on to cover this 4 to 4.5 point spread. Also, another thing to note here, Arizona doesn't have the deepest bench by any means, so it's just going to be interesting to see how that plays out for Arizona here going through the rest of the regular season. If they face any injury concerns, especially with Alonzo Trier being out throughout the regular season, that really limits this group's depth. So that's something to keep an eye on with the Wildcats going forward. But we do like Southern Cal to keep things competitive here and push for the upset as they go on to cover this spread. All right, moving out to the West Coast Conference. The next game we want to talk about is Gonzaga versus Santa Clara. The Gonzaga Bulldogs have been a consistent, dominating force throughout the regular season, standing 17-0 overall and 5-0 in the WCC. Gonzaga has strengths on both sides of the ball, ranking an impressive 16th in the nation in scoring average and 31st in total defense. Gonzaga cleared a big hurdle in their last outing at home, getting past St. Mary's by a final of 79-56 in what was yet another blowout result for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have won all of their WCC games in blowout fashion thus far, and this is a trend that Gonzaga hopes to continue going forward. This is one of the best Gonzaga squads we've seen, and that's really saying something. And this squad is balanced and deep, and on the offensive side of the ball, they've been led by Washington transfer Nigel Williams-Goss, who's averaging 15.2 points per game. But Gonzaga has a lot of offensive threats, and they've really been spreading the ball around to a lot of different guys this season. Then the home team, the Santa Clara Broncos, have stepped up their play in conference play after working through an up-and-down non-conference, as the Broncos now stand 10-9 overall and 4-2 in the WCC. Santa Clara has been a work in progress on the offensive side of the ball, but this group has been able to lean on their defense, as the Broncos rank 36th in the nation in points allowed compared to just 299th in scoring average. Santa Clara picked up a nice win on the road in their last outing, taking down Pepperdine by a final of 75-61. The Broncos are led by Jaron Brownridge, who's averaging 17.9 points per game. Gonzaga always gets every opponent's best effort, and it hasn't really phased this group thus far, as Gonzaga continues to win in blowout fashion. Gonzaga, they're going into the road into the road atmosphere in this one, and Gonzaga has been performing really well on the road thus far in conference play, even coming off the huge win. We do like Gonzaga to keep things rolling today as they go on to win and cover this spread. And just one more game that we want to touch on in today's video, and that's going to be over in the MAAC between Siena and St. Peter's. The Siena Saints have been going on a bit of a run as of late, winning 4 straight to improve to 8-11 overall and 5-3 in the MAC. The Saints were looking like one of the more disappointing teams in the MAAC through the first half of the regular season, but the Saints have been reviving themselves a bit over the past couple of weeks. The question remains whether the Saints can continue to play like this for an extended period, or if it's just a flash in the pan for Siena. The Saints still rank over 200th in the nation in both scoring average and total defense, and on the offensive side of the ball, this group spreads the ball around with 5 players averaging in double-figure scoring. And then we get the home team here, and we've been really impressed with what we've seen out of St. Peter's as of late, as the Peacocks have won 3 straight to improve to 9-8 overall and 5-2 in conference. St. Peter's is far and away the best defensive squad this offensive-heavy conference has as the Peacocks ranked 28th in the nation in points allowed compared to 329th in scoring average. St. Peter's has been showing better on the offensive side of the ball as of late, and the Peacocks are coming off an impressive road trip that saw the Peacocks win back-to-back on the road against Rider and Fairfield. In their last outing, St. Peter's looked tremendous, getting past Fairfield by a final of 69-55. St. Peter's elite defensive effort can be a major difference maker in a conference that tends to focus more on strong offensive attacks. The Peacocks are a dark horse to get the automatic bid from this league come March in their particular conference tournament, especially given how strong this group is on the defensive side of the ball. We do like the Peacocks to keep things rolling today as they go on to win and cover the spread at home. And we currently see the spread sitting at about 3.5 to 4 points. So especially with the improvements that we've seen from St. Peter's on the offensive side of the ball as of late, we do like the Peacocks to come through here as they go on to cover this spread. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for today's action. Again, if you're interested in getting our daily free play, you can head on over to our main site, stumpthespread.com. If you're on desktop, by clicking this logo on the top right-hand corner of the video, and we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. We picked up yet another free winner yesterday. We've really been on a roll with those. Wake Forest coming through against the spread in that one. And also, you can upgrade to a premium membership to get all of our top confidence plays across all major American sports, including college basketball, as well as the NBA, NHL, and the NFL right now. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next college basketball video. Thanks a lot. Bye.